All right, my people, we have a breaking news, and the situation is getting deeper and more serious by the hour. Nasir El-Rufai has now arrived at the EFCC headquarters. Not quietly, not secretly, he came with hundreds of supporters. And that alone tells you this is no longer just a legal issue. This has fully entered the political arena. Before we go into the full details, please make sure you like this video and subscribe so you don't miss any of our premium updates here on the channel. Also, please stay with me till the end of this video because we'll be exposing a lot of hidden secrets that most mainstream media won't put in public. Now back to the news. Just a few days ago, the country was watching the airport drama. Security agents tried to take him at Abuja airport. He refused. He demanded a formal invitation. His passport was allegedly taken. Then he came out publicly and accused the National Security Advisor, Nuhu Ribadu, of being behind the move to arrest him. Now look at where we are. He has walked into EFCC himself, voluntarily. That move is strategic. Very strategic, because when a man who claimed he was being targeted still shows up at an anti-corruption agency office, he is sending a message, a strong one. He is basically saying, I am not running, I am here, question me openly. And bringing supporters along changes the atmosphere completely. EFCC headquarters is not a political rally ground, it is a law enforcement space. So when hundreds of supporters follow a former governor there, it turns a legal appearance into a public political moment. Cameras, attention, public sympathy, national focus. This is no longer happening behind closed doors. This is happening in the full view of Nigeria. But that is not even the biggest part of this breaking news. The government is now preparing to arraign El-Rufai in court over alleged phone tapping of the National Security Advisor, Nuhu Ribadu. That is a massive allegation. Phone interception is not a small offense. It touches national security, intelligence, privacy, power. The government is saying he admitted during a TV interview that he and his associates unlawfully intercepted the NSA's communications. If that claim is true, it moves this case from political drama into a serious legal and security territory. Because tapping the communication of a national security advisor is not just gossip-level politics. That is a matter that falls under cybercrime law, communications law, and national security law. The charges listed are heavy. Unlawful interception of communications, associating with people involved in the interception, using technical systems that could compromise national security. Those are not minor accusations you brush aside with political speeches. And now the court is expected to hear the case soon. Look at how fast this situation has evolved. First, airport confrontation, then public accusations against Ribadu, then solidarity visit from Atiku, now EFCC questioning, now federal charges linked to national security. This is escalation in real time. And Nigerians are watching everything like a live political series unfolding episode by episode. Let's slow down and look at the bigger picture. El-Rufai was earlier invited by EFCC over alleged corruption linked to his administration as governor. That alone is already a major investigation. Former governors facing corruption probes is not new in Nigeria, but the timing, the airport incident, and the public accusations have made this case emotionally charged. Now add phone tapping allegations involving the NSA to the same situation. That raises the stakes dramatically. Because once national security enters a case, it becomes more sensitive than a normal corruption probe. It becomes a state matter. Supporters of the government will immediately say, this proves there are serious issues being investigated. They will argue that the law must take its course no matter who is involved. They will say no political status should shield anyone from investigation or prosecution. But supporters of El-Rufai will see something else entirely. They will say the sequence of events looks too connected. Airport attempt, public criticism, accusations of orchestration, then sudden charges tied directly to the same security leadership he accused. To them, it may look like a political confrontation disguised as legal action. This is where perception becomes very dangerous in politics. Because even if the legal process is legitimate, the timing can still shape how the public interprets it. Another key detail that cannot be ignored is his public appearance with supporters. That is not just emotional support. That is political signaling. It shows he still has grassroots backing. It shows he is not isolated. It shows he is ready to face the system publicly rather than quietly behind legal walls. And in Nigerian politics, optics matter a lot. Walking into EFCC with supporters sends a different message than sneaking in through a back gate with silence. It creates a narrative of confidence, not fear. Whether that confidence is strategic or genuine is something only time will reveal. Now let's address the phone tapping allegation directly because this is the most explosive part. If a former governor truly admitted to intercepting the communications of the National Security Advisor, that is a legal issue that cannot be ignored under any government. That touches cybercrime laws and national communications laws. It raises serious questions about access to surveillance tools, technical networks, and intelligence boundaries. But if the admission is being misinterpreted, exaggerated, or taken out of context, then the legal battle ahead will be intense. Because court proceedings will now determine facts, not public narratives. Another layer here is the direct conflict between El-Rufai and Ribadu. This is no longer hidden tension. It is now public confrontation at the highest level of political and security leadership. When two powerful figures are publicly linked through accusations and legal actions, the situation easily becomes political drama mixed with legal process. And that mixture is always volatile. For ordinary Nigerians, the concern is not just about one politician. It is about institutional trust. People are asking whether agencies are acting independently or whether political rivalries are influencing legal actions. They are asking whether justice is being served or whether power struggles are playing out through institutions. That question will shape public opinion more than any official statement. At the same time, the legal system now becomes the most important space in this situation. Not social media, not interviews, not political visits. The court. Because once formal charges are filed, evidence, legal arguments, and judicial review take over from political narratives. If the government proceeds with arraignment and presents strong evidence, the case becomes legal history. If the case appears weak or politically motivated, it becomes political controversy for years. That is why this moment is critical. Nigeria is now watching a rare intersection of law enforcement, national security, and high-level politics happening at the same time. Every move from now will be analyzed. Every statement will be interpreted. Every legal step will be debated across the country. And one more thing must be understood clearly. This is not just about today. This could shape political alliances, opposition dynamics, and national conversations ahead of future elections. When a major political figure faces corruption questioning and national security charges while also accusing top security leadership, it naturally reshapes the political atmosphere. Right now, El-Rufai showing up at EFCC is a strong public move. It shows he is engaging the process rather than avoiding it. But the phone tapping allegation introduces a completely new legal dimension that could define the entire case going forward. Nigeria is now entering a phase where legal proceedings and political narratives will run side by side. And the outcome will not only affect one man, it will affect public trust, political balance, and how Nigerians view the independence of institutions in moments of high political tension. This story is no longer just developing, it is escalating. So please make sure to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the outcome of this developing story.
The government of Bola Ahmed Tinubu has decided to make El-Rufai answer for all the allegations it has made against Tinubu and Ribadu. So in Kaduna today, the roads are blocked. Thousands of Kaduna citizens prepare to storm Abuja to escort El-Rufai to the EFCC. Some people are renting vehicles, 30 vehicles, 20 vehicles, lorries that will carry people for free to Aso Rock. So as it stands today, El-Rufai made a lot of allegations against the government of Bola Ahmed Tinubu and Ribadu. Therefore, he has to answer for it. So El-Rufai decides to use his own political base to shake the government. Let's look at some of the allegations that El-Rufai made against the government of Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Number one, he said that the government pays bandits and kidnappers to rescue and free victims or the abductees. This is an allegation from the mouth of El-Rufai. He said the state government, the government of Bola Tinubu, pay kidnappers and bandits. We have not even looked at that one. The next one, he said, he accused Tinubu of taking 150 billion naira monthly without appropriation in the budget. He said it. That's number two. The one that is more damning is the one he made against the NSA. Okay? He said that he tapped into the phone, or his associates tapped into the phone of the NSA and found out that he wanted to arrest him unlawfully. I know it is a treasonable offense for you to tap, a citizen to tap into the phone of the National Security Advisor. You need to come and answer how you got to tap, or what the allegation you made. You need to come and answer it. Mind you, this is a political war between Ribadu and El-Rufai, and also a political brouhaha between Tinubu and the AGC. I told you that if the opposition wants any kind of revolution, they must make sure they cause the government to arrest them. I think El-Rufai is having the Tinubu's government into his playbook. I think he wants the government to arrest him so that there can be uproar, the same way they did in 2014. So all roads leads to Abuja. El-Rufai supporters in their thousands are going to escort him to the EFCC. Then the EFCC will have to detain him. Then let's see what happens from there. Now, the latest allegation against Ribadu was that Ribadu is using his office as NSA to import thallium sulfate, a poisonous substance that can be used to kill people slowly without you even knowing. When they said thallium sulfate, I remembered Malafia, the former deputy CBN governor that exposed the leaders of Boko Haram, how he died. Most people are dying mysteriously in Nigeria. We don't know. So if these allegations were to be true, then Malam El-Rufai needs to come and clear himself. Even the office of the NSA wrote to Malam El-Rufai that he has to come and clear himself of whatever allegations. Now the point is, what are the supporters of Nasir El-Rufai going to do if the EFCC detains El-Rufai? What are they going to do? Is this an act of the opposition or an act of political whatever between Ribadu and El-Rufai? They are fighting, Sometimes I want to advise, don't get involved in their fight. When you look at it critically, El-Rufai wants to use the opposition to fight for his own presidential ambition come 2027. That is the critical thing. Usually he had issues with Atiku until Tinubu chopping eye. When Tinubu chopping eye, he can't say, that means I need to get level for this Tinubu administration. Let me go and align with Atiku. Let's be pushing, Tinubu must go. He's eyeing presidency 2031. And Ribadu seems to be one of the faithfuls of Tinubu's political empire that would likely fit into the position of the presidency from northern Nigeria come 2031. So as it stands today, Abuja is on shutdown. The people are there to make sure that nothing happens to El-Rufai. The best thing that can happen, let me tell you, the best thing that can happen is that the people want to revolt and the military will take over. The best thing that can happen. And El-Rufai would be detained. El-Rufai will be detained for a very long time. The way they detained Malami, a lot of allegations will be pulled up against him. A lot of things will happen. Then I hope they don't release him before the campaigns. Because El-Rufai is a very intelligent politician. He knows how to use chaos to his own favor. Let me even stay on two sides now. From the aspect of the opposition, I think it is a good start for the opposition to start using this El-Rufai, the dust that El-Rufai is creating, to start telling Nigerians about the failed policies of the government. Let me even like, I'm the opposition. I want to. Some people will not like this, but I have to say it. I want to tackle the government of Bola Tinubu. Now, 4 years. If APC really did anything, they would be campaigning with their projects, not trying to capture this or capture that, or use all this their manipulative politics, force somebody into their party. They'll tell you that we did not force anybody, but they will have a way of squeezing you, frustrating you, so that you have no option. They will not send some people to. So if APC really they are performing, why having city boy movement? You gotta start engaging some influencers. You start crippling everybody, carrying everybody to your side by force because of political power. On a normal day, if Tinubu were in president, he wouldn't be able to do this. Hello? On a normal day, if Tinubu were in president, he wouldn't be able to do this. But if you have verifiable projects, if you have things you have done, it is easier for you to campaign with what you have done than for using money to buy people around. That means the APC has not really done anything. That is just the truth. To the average Nigerian, for the elites and some of their business partners up there, they have gotten the dividends of this government. Because most of the projects, most of the policies, they are reaping it like the first people that are reaping it. Nigerians are not. If you start with insecurity, all the kidnapping during Jonathan, Tinubu, by the end of this year, Tinubu go times Jonathan times 2. Jonathan's government with the insecurity, the level of insecurity under Tinubu's government is times 2 of that of Jonathan. So this is an opportunity for the opposition to start telling Nigerians critical things. If Tinubu is really performing, like dividends of, I told you about, I say anything good governance, count me out of Tinubu. If he's really performing, why are you muzzling everybody? You muzzle this person. Your works, the things you did should even speak for you. The people are the ones that will say, okay, come on, you must go second term. Not by using media tactics, using all those. We know how they do the thing now. We know how they do it. Now they say city boy movement. They went to the southeast. They start capturing those young guys. Somebody was asking a question. Tinubu cannot pay them now. Can Tinubu pay them? Lagos is the economic center of Nigeria. If you know who Tinubu is, it's like people don't know who Tinubu is. If you don't know who that president, if you have investment in Lagos, they know how to frustrate you to join them. You don't have to. Tinubu doesn't have to give you money. Now that he's president, he has the powers to frustrate you and your business. He has the powers to do so. Look what happened with Dangote. The whole big Dangote, they frustrate them. Now you will be Obi Kubana or Kubana chief priest where you get hotel or whatever it is. If they meet you say align with the progressive, align so that progressives, they're going to use align with the progressives. They tell you some threats so that business can be moving. We can enjoy. They are passing the message to you. That is how they muzzle people. If they really were performing, why muzzle people into whatever it is? Why not campaign with what you have done? If the APC has a communication machinery, they don't have to communicate. The APC don't know how to communicate their project to the people. They should have used these celebrities for a very long time. As they are doing this. The celebrities will communicate the policy of the government to the people and how it's helping them and the verifiable evidences to prove that the government is working. But now it is time for election. They are using a lot of influencers, a lot of these people. Influencers will say they don't collect money. They don't even send you at the end of the day. Influencers that cannot speak up against the government. There's no government that is perfect. Influencers won't even look your eye. Now their money. That is what the government is packing. They pack everybody. It shows that the government has not brought governance to the people. I'm speaking like I'm the opposition. I told you that the reason why I come here in the first place is that restructuring is the next thing. You want restructuring. I tell people openly, even on my platform, that if it's for restructuring and politicking, Tinubu can be able to play it. But good governance, my brother, and a lie. Even with 8 years, if he does it for 8 years, it's going to take another person for another. See, there are some things. See, the Tinubu will not leave his elite and first favor the people. It is possible that the people start getting dividends. The elites will have to sacrifice, and in a longer time, they start getting the results. Human Development Index, there's where you empower the people-oriented policies that the people will feel. Let's leave the economy now. Let's talk about security. Okay, I just said about security. Tinubu has not been able to secure Nigerians. Electricity, 24-hour electricity. This year alone, you know how many times national grid don't collapse? What did Tinubu say in his last election? He said that if I don't give you 24-hour electricity, don't elect me. The minister is there, sir, I don't do anything. Maybe nobody knows. Next time, today's survey, the grid can collapse. What is it that Tinubu's government has really done within these 4 years? I know 4 years is not enough, but there's something that you need to point out. Now, he's a politician, a master strategist for politicking, for trying to muzzle opposition, cripple opposition, but it's not a politician for good governance. You can gaslight yourself. There's a particular APC supporter. This woman defended Tinubu left, right, center, defended Tinubu, abused people's fathers and mothers because of Tinubu. Now he saw the city boy movement. Sheyi Tinubu is bringing in people that fought against Tinubu into the city boy movement, and them that have been in APC, taking all the blows, all the insults for Tinubu. Those that hate Tinubu, they are now being invited to the table. She now said, as an APC supporter, don't wait for the government to do this for you. Do your business, pursue your career, do your normal thing. I told you that politicians know rate you. You that want to kill yourself for politician, you know rate you. The only thing you can get from politician is good governance. There's nothing. If you like defend Tinubu from now to next year, the only thing you can benefit from this kind of elitist system. You don't know what they call elitist system. Can you enter Tinubu's circles? There are Igbo people there, there are Fulani people, there are Hausa people there. They are benefiting from the government directly before you benefit as a citizen, as a Nigerian citizen. It is good governance that should be your first priority. Anybody that cannot give you good governance, you don't, because of tribe. It is your problem. It's not my problem. If you like, use tribe. I don't know what tribe has even achieved. For some people, I don't know what tribe has achieved for them. If you like, use tribe. Now you know. So, if I'm on the side of opposition, this El-Rufai arrest is a right ground. If they really understand how to use the time effectively, El-Rufai is just triggered something for them to use to start the revolution. It might not be physical. It might start. You start. Look at what Amechi said. Amechi, El-Rufai, Aregbesola, they sabi this, Mind you, they did APC before. Those people who know the APC for ADC, look at them. Those people who know the APC for ADC, you see them, they are doing smash. Amechi was in APC. Now them run the Buhari, whatever. They run force of Buhari. Aregbesola, APC. El-Rufai, APC. Look at how they move. They move differently. Look at how Aregbesola, look at how El-Rufai, look at how they move differently. You see, Aregbesola, the entire Osun State, entire Yoruba land, they run your own propaganda and whatever it is. What did Amechi say recently? He said, this government, they want to collect tax next year. You go buy building materials, 100 million naira. The government will collect 25%. The government has tried to debunk it, say it's a lie, it's this and that. Some people don't collect that information like that. Because, see, propaganda is what APC used in removing Jonathan. And if you want to remove APC, use the same thing they used against Jonathan, against them. So it is the right time to start gaslighting, using propaganda and all have you. That is Nigerian politics for you. Don't come and tell me anything. That is Nigerian politics for you. Tinubu and Co said, Jonathan, remove subsidy, blah, blah, blah. They will share, blah, blah, blah. He listened to remove subsidy. Somebody who had a PhD was saying that there was corruption then now. There was corruption then. That's why they didn't want them to remove subsidy. So there's no corruption now. Yaya Bello did here. Better Edu did here. Are they a joke to you? So there's no corruption now that you are saying, and there was corruption there. Blah. You see, gaslighting. APC has set a precedent in Nigeria for both political leaders and both followers. One of the most toxic movements where the APC supporters then, if they can do half of what they did to Jonathan, to Tinubu, that's on the side. Now on the side of the government, let me speak on the side of the government. Nobody's above the law. Nobody. You come and answer. Come and answer for whatever you do. If like which sentiment, come and answer for whatever you do. All those supporters that are coming, all those on Asakam and J, they do embark governance. How many people did there? After they carry some people, they arrest some people, put them inside. Everybody disperse. They deploy the army and run the whole thing. Let me see. If the government tell everybody, go home. Let me see whether the El-Rufai supporters will start destroying things in Kaduna or start doing one or two things. Or whether El-Rufai supporters will stop EFCC from arresting Nasir El-Rufai. Let's see. Okay, they said that they stopped EFCC or DSS from arresting El-Rufai at the airport, Abi. Now they do drama for airport. I hear you. Although they have seized El-Rufai's passport, so El-Rufai don't enter him. He's not traveling anywhere. He's not going out of the country anywhere. He don't enter him. He must answer. I think he's going to spend longer than Malami. But the only thing I hope, if the government wants to play it very well, they should put this guy in prison. They should convict him, put him in prison. It is only a conviction that will silence, like they should get evidence against him. Don't prosecute him without evidence. That's why you give him more popularity. If you prosecute him and you know that justice must be seen to be done. It must be evident that this allegation you have against him, he threw them and you get evidence against him. That is when you silence what he's trying to do. But when the public perceives him as innocent against the stance of the government, when they see that the government is persecuting El-Rufai, that is when he becomes popular. That is when his portfolio rises. That's why revolution is imminent. So the government should not do like what they are doing to Malami now. You get starting, you don't get finishing. If they want to silence Nuhu Ribadu, they should get starting and finishing. That's it. As it stands today, let Northern Nigeria begin to fight. Let Ribadu and El-Rufai begin to kick themselves. That is their problem. But the only thing there is that Southern Nigeria, open your eyes, see what is happening. See how people look at how there's some things I'll not say here, but I'll say it in the future. In the future, I'll say it. But I believe one thing, that this next election is the Southern presidency. See, Southern presidency. Southern politicians and leaders must align. This is a very great opportunity they have now to be able to align and utilize the political power they have. They may not have this kind of political influence in the future under Tinubu. I hope I'm being understood. They may not have this kind of political influence under Tinubu in the future. Because as it stands today, Fulani no go gree. In the enter power, they go, the kind of politics where they play for Hausa people. The kind of politics where they play for Nigeria, where they put Nigeria ransom. A whole small ethnic group with the gaslighting and manipulation and lies, using religion, using terrorism and everything. They go increase and raise to power 2. I tell you, increase and raise to power 2. You see, Tinubu has few years. He don't old though. This opportunity you have, Tinubu has just few years. He don't old. After 8 years finish, you don't say Tinubu almost reach 80 or 90. Then the next person, you know, they reach 100. If something still just happen, and how will the southern part of this country survive? Our people, see, Fulani has people that will take over from them. Do we have people that will take over from us? Look at OPC, for example, OPC. Now, all those rugged people will say, those millennials, the Gen Z, our Gen Z in southern Nigeria, Is that they do Yahoo, they are doing other things. They're not really interested in politics. They're not really interested. They are carried away by TikTok and all this kind of lifestyle. While the North are still focused on this, the Fulani and children, they are focused on this, their agenda of Islamizing Nigeria. The people that you see, that are ESN, they are not those people, millennial. The Gen Z, we are not prepared for the future. Southern Nigeria is not prepared for the future. That's just the problem. We are not prepared for the future. And as we have the opportunity now, we should use it and mobilize ourselves, structure ourselves, give ourselves, make sure that they amend constitution to the extent whereby if Fulani won't change anything, they enter again. If Fulani won't change anything, if they enter again, it'll be very, very difficult for them to change anything. But if we just be lackadaisical like this, the party will enter. He will spend 8 years. In second tenure, they will run. You can see how they were able to bring in Mietiala in a Yoruba community. We have been talking about Mietiala and Fulani. He still brought them in Yoruba community. See Fulani are the same thing. Forget what El-Rufai and Ribadu are doing. It's political fight. They know themselves. They are together. Don't let them come and bobo you and try to deceive you. They are together. They know what they are together. It is just political power that is making them fight. These politicians, they know how they run their own thing. Because of that presidency, that's why they are fighting. Forget. They cannot kill themselves. Forget. Yes, they just weaken themselves politically for the other person to hold power. May God help Nigerians.